Hi, everybody. Verl Workman, CEO of Workman Success Systems, and welcome to another episode of the Faces of Real Estate. We have a tremendous guest today, and I'm excited to welcome the one and the only Josh Frazee. Josh, welcome to the Faces of Real Estate.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Well, we're excited that you're here. You know, the Faces of Real Estate is our mission to highlight those who give back and make a difference in their communities. And it's really fun to learn from so many amazing real estate people, what they do and how they give back. Before we get into that, though, I'd like to learn just a little bit about you. Tell us about you and your business.
Yes. So been in the business since 2016 and has grown rapidly. We have 3 buyer agents that are absolutely crushing it right now, listing partner, and my wife is the brains and beauty behind it all. And then we have 2 full-time admin that keep us all very organized, because none of us salesmen are organized. So
that's right.
So all of our clients think we are, and it's great that we can do that impression. We do over 100 sales every year. Last year we did 123. This year our goal is 175, and even with COVID happening and Michigan being completely shut down, we're still on pace of hitting that. So awesome. It's been great. So with that, everybody on our team is involved in the community in some sort of way. We have a couple guys that don't have kids or anything like that, so they have dogs and cats, so they help out a lot with the Humane Society. Myself, I'm a volunteer Rocket football coach, because I have 3 daughters, so I need to get some kind of activity with boys, because playing Barbies gets a little old. And then I'm vice president of the Real Health Foundation.
You know, that's kind of funny you said that. I just literally just finished an interview with Mark Ryan, who has 2 daughters, and he coaches the Wee Elks, which is the mini. I'm like, what's a wee elk? And it's like a little teeny little beetly elk. He said, yeah, it's like the pee-wee version of the high school elks. And he says, there was a hole in my life. I needed to have some boys that I got to work with. So it's fun. It's fun that you do the same thing and that you give back. They're lucky to have you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's been exciting. And I'm trying to talk my 8-year-old daughter into playing football next year, but no, she's going to stick to gymnastics.
So I love Ella. Ella's 8. Tell me about your family.
So we have Ella, that's 8. We have Nora and Layla, and they're 2 and 3. They're only 10 months apart. Technically, right now as we speak, they're both 2 years old. So,
oh, is that right?
Yeah. Nora turns 3 July 14th. So.
Yeah, you know, that's how we were. We were like 18 months apart. Like there were 7 kids in my family, and there's a lot of us that were the same age for periods of time. So that's kind of fun. Your kids are all young, under 10, man. They're still cute.
Yeah, they are. They're still cute. Yep. They know they can get away with a lot of things.
So what are some of the things you guys do as a family? What are the things that you do to keep your family happy and fun? And
yeah, so we spend a lot of time at our pool. The kids love to swim. We like to go get ice cream. I have a Jeep. We'll pile in the Jeep, go get ice cream with the doors and tops off. They think that's neat. And then we go to zoos and parks and stuff like that. My 8-year-old still loves playing Barbies. So I'm always Ken. She's always the Barbie. And I always try to list the dream house. You know, try to teach her the trade playing Barbies.
You know, it's so funny because my daughter Brianne, she has little girls too, and their in-laws keep giving them this huge Barbie furniture, and I just saw her Barbie dream house, this monster thing on Facebook classifieds. I'm like, you totally listed your daughter's Barbie dream house? She says listed and sold. It's gone.
Right.
And she says, we're going to sell the Barbie dream house. And the trade-off was they got to go to Target to buy new Barbies. They each got 2 new Barbies for the cost of the right. Barbie dream house. So, but now they have more room. So
yeah, that dream house is huge.
So that's really fun. So, you know, I've been to Michigan. It seems like whenever I get hired to speak in Michigan, it's the wintertime. So what I know of Michigan is I've heard it's beautiful in the summer, but it's cold in the winter. And every time I go there to speak, it's like January and February. So can I get you to be the one that invites me out to fish or do something in the summer when it's sun?
Yeah, that's our population doubles, if not triples, every summer. We're right on Lake Michigan, so we have a lot of fun, breweries and restaurants, and the lake life is everybody wants to be there. It's the best fresh water around.
Well, tell us a little bit about your community. You're on Lake Michigan. Tell me more about the area that you serve.
Yeah, so it's a pretty small, tight-knit area. Um, I graduated with 90 kids. This year they graduated, I think, 105. And
Virtually graduated.
yeah, they had a big parade. It was kind of neat. And then they ended at the beach, and then they all got out of the cars and hugged each other. It was kind of weird.
Right. Like what?
We should have just had the ceremony. But no, it's very small, tight knit. Everybody knows everybody. Like I said, in the summer it kind of multiplies with a lot of Illinois people coming over on the other side of the lake, to check out the better side, I guess. And
so you're lucky to have Paul Sessom as a coach. He nominated you to be on this interview because he's impressed by the difference you make and your focus on giving back to your community. Tell us a little about what you do as a team and how you serve.
Yeah, so I'm vice president of the Real Help, which is a foundation. It started 7 years ago, and what it was just an idea of a few real estate agents doing a golf outing, raising money, and then they would take that money, and if an agent got sick or a family member got sick, they could donate money because a lot of agents don't have insurance.
Yep.
So from there, we've multiplied it, and now we're giving to not just real estate agents, but to the community and people we serve, cancer patients, car accidents, house fires, and things like that. And we've grown the board now to where we're actually going to volunteer and do actual work. Somebody's, elderly person, house needs some work, we're going to go and do the repairs and things like that. So
just out of curiosity, how do you decide who do you help?
So we get an email usually or a letter written like, hey, here's the story. I know you guys help out people. Here's what's going on. And so we get this email, and a lot of times you're reading it, you're like crying. And then one person on the board will say, hey, I want to give, $2,000. And then somebody on the board will say, yep, I agree with that. And if somebody thinks it should be more, say, hey, let's give 3,000. And then we all agree and we vote on it. And then we write out a check. So
That's really cool. So why Real Help? What caused you to start this? What's the story behind it?
So I got into real estate because I had stage 4 colon cancer, and I needed something to do. The cancer wasn't killing me. The not being able to provide for myself and my family was the part that was killing me. I'm sitting in the hospital, not able to do anything. So got my license while getting chemo. And there was all these volunteers helping out that was just giving blankets and soft drinks, whatever you needed, just somebody to sit next to you and talk. And I told my wife, when I'm better, I want to be able to help like that. That's amazing that people are able to give their time just to comfort people. So then when I got into the business, I found this foundation and was like, man, I really want to help out and do that. That fits where I'm at, checks the boxes of what I'm trying to do, and joined. And it was great. And I started making these obnoxious goals for the board, for the foundation to do, mostly because of your program. We had to set these high goals, and we come close to achieving them. So
and we double it.
Yeah, we double it. Last year we raised $14,000 in our golf tournament.
Awesome.
And I was like, hey, we need to do 20,000 next year. Why are we doing 14? Which was our best year ever. And so they nicknamed me Captain Money. And they made a little I'm wearing a cape and tights and stuff, and they have my head on it. So everybody's been having fun calling me Captain Money. So
hey, if that money goes to one of your good causes, it's totally worth the cape and the.
Yeah, that's what I said. If we raise 30,000, I'll wear the cape and underwear and stuff while I golf the whole time. So.
Wow, that's a good ask.
Yeah,
they'd have to make some special tights for me to.
Yeah. Well, that's a couple board members said, well, if we raise 30,000, can you just wear your regular clothes? And I said, yeah, absolutely.
Right, that would raise more money if I keep my shirt on.
All right.
That's kind of fun. So tell me, I'd like to just so How does your team get involved in these kinds of events that you put on? And what are some of the specific things? You talked about a golf tournament and some other things.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you do and how the team gets involved.
Yeah. So the first thing is if you don't do your daily success habits, you donate money to the Real Help. So that
I
keeps
love that.
everybody in line. And I kind of like it when people don't do their habits. So then I'm like, oh, sweet, got money out of you.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. And then, like I said, they're each individually, they have to raise some kind of charity in the event. John and Cam both focus on the Humane Society. They love, they're animal lovers, so they help out. And as a team, we'll do, a 2-week drop off some supplies. We'll give you a pie or cake or something, and we'll donate that all to the Humane Society. And we've gone from there, and then we try to do a big event that we all try to focus on every year to raise money. And so far, it's been the Real Help. So, yeah.
So I'm curious what kind of impact that giving attitude has had on the team. Do you have lower turnover? Do you believe? Are your people feel like they're part of something bigger? Tell me what that culturally has done.
Yeah, especially when, we get a case, most recently was a girl that was 6 years old that is going through leukemia. And, her story, I mean, it's hard to read and not be choked up. And, come in for the huddle and say, hey, guys, thanks for donating money. We just gave $3,000 to this, 6-year-old girl. And they instantly are like, oh, man, let's go raise more money now. Because we have to make up for that $3,000 we just gave away. And that's my goal is when you have cases like that, especially cancer, it's not a one-time payment. 6 months from now, they're going to need more money. So, I would love to have where it's like, okay, hey, we gave you $3,000 to get you through now. And then 2 months, I'm going to give you another $3,000. But we can't do that without having that capital because we still want to help other people, not just one family.
So I love that. This little 6-year-old girl, I bet she was grateful. Do you get to hear the stories afterwards from some of the people that you help? What kind of, give us an example or two.
Yeah, we get so many cards. And actually I have my, Josh Frazee sign on the side of my car, pumping gas, and this woman comes up and hugs me. And I'm like, my wife's in the car, like, what's going on here? And she's like, you're Josh Frazee, you're with the Real Help. And I'm like, yeah, I sell houses too. Don't forget that. And she's like, you helped me out. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I had no idea who she was. And she just sees the names, and it's great that people need, recognize that. We get cards and stuff, and it's.
Well, hopefully your wife gave you a bigger hug later.
Yeah, my wife she never tells me she's proud of me, but I hear her tell other people.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. That's really fun. So a lady just walks up to you because you have your sign on your car and says, thanks for helping me out.
Yeah, she recognized the name, and she knows I'm on the board, and was like, this is great what you're doing.
You said something that said one thing that's made a big difference for you is you're used to doing Josh things, and now that's not your focus anymore. It's not about you.
No, it's about the team growing and helping the community out. And, you get into real estate and it's just you trying to do everything. And then, you start getting an admin and you realize like, hey, they've got goals. Our admin just paid off all of her debt. And, it was on the vision board, and my wife and I set out a schedule and a game plan to help her do that. And she followed that plus some, and just put AC in her house. So it's like, man, this is awesome. And John on our team, he was a full-time phlebotomist, and he's doubled his income, and he's giving back to the community because he's able to, and he has more time. And it's fun watching that. And Cam, he wants to retire in 10 years, and he's only 29. And I think he's going to hit it. The guy's on fire, and I really don't want him to because he's producing so much. But, hey, he probably will be able to. So,
what a great thing.
Yeah. So
tell Cam I'm with him. I'm a 10-year guy. I've got 10 good years in me.
Yeah, I'm 18. My kids will be in school.
Well, I think it's fun when you start talking about the individuals on your team. I can tell that you care deeply about each person and making a difference in their lives. That's a transformation from where you probably started in real estate. It was all about building your own business.
Yeah, it is, because I was very much like, oh, I want to be number one. I want to be number one. Now it's like, hey, let's all be number one. And our office has the leaderboard, closings and stuff. And every year I'm like, John and Cam are going to be number one and number two, and I don't need to be on top anymore. So,
Isn't that a great place to be in your life?
Yeah, it's fun. It is.
So what are your plans going forward from a giving back perspective? What would you like to do with your charities, with your giving? What would you like to accomplish?
Yeah, so I was talking about the 30,000 for the Real Help. I want to get that to where we're able to give $80,000 a year, so we need to make $160,000 a year for the charity. Because then I know there's enough families that like I said, that we can give multiple times throughout the year and not just one time. And then, I'd like to build a team and have 200 plus transactions a year.
That's really cool. Somebody asked me once, when's enough? And it's when you've made enough and you've given enough away that there's nobody else that needs any.
That's exactly. Yeah, I like that.
And I see a lot of opportunity out there. There's a lot of people that have a lot of needs, and we can make a difference in their lives. And I appreciate all you're doing. So just as a kind of a parting question, I'm curious, for someone who wants to get back, they don't know how to start. Where do I start? How do you tell someone who isn't a mega team and they're not doing 100 transactions? How do you start making a difference?
Yeah, when I started, I was only doing 20 transactions a year. And like I said, I volunteered first because I didn't have a whole lot to give. And once I volunteered, I was with those like-minded people that was involved in something I was passionate in. And I was volunteering time. And then I was finding creative ways to get that money also. So once you start just volunteering your time a little bit, it snowballs really fast into something pretty big.
I love that. And I think oftentimes it's a greater give when you give your time.
I truly believe that too. It's more productive.
Do you ever see a time in your life or in your business where you won't, where you just say, yeah, I'm done giving. I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore?
No, absolutely not. I've always liked giving. I'm a giving person by nature. So setting up things and helping people get to where they need to be is a big part of who I am and who my wife is and our family. So even my 8-year-old is raising money for kids that can't buy the books from Scholastic. So because she felt bad that she got some books and other kids didn't. So, she's, wants to come up with ways where every kid can get a book from Scholastic.
Good for her.
Yeah. So it makes me proud.
Yeah, right. That's a direct reflection of great parenting, and I'll give your wife all the credit. I think that their mothers make a big difference.
It does. Yeah,
Totally. Well, Josh, thank you so much. I really appreciate your passion and your energy, your authenticity in sharing and giving back. Thanks for being part of the Faces of Real Estate. And I want to encourage anybody who saw this episode, if they were inspired by you and think of others that are making a difference in their communities, to go to the facesofrealestate.com website and, nominate someone. Tell me who's making a difference and let's get them nominated. We'd love to have them as a guest on the Faces of Real Estate. On behalf of all of us at Workman Success Systems, thanks for being part of our family. And thanks for giving back to your community. And Josh, I wish you just tremendous success as you continue to make an impact on the people you serve, both in your family, in your business, and in your community. So thank you.
I appreciate it, bro. Hopefully I can get you in Michigan before wintertime.
Before it snows, man.
Yeah.
That's right. Fishing is COVID-free.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Paul. Or thanks, Burl.
See you soon.